Hi everybody, welcome back to Tips for You. Today I want to talk to you about toenail funguses, and I want to offer you a remedy for that. A little bit about toenail funguses. First of all, they're very common, and you have a toenail fungus. It starts out kind of with like a little white or yellow dot underneath your toenail, and you'll see it kind of grow, and as it grows bigger and embeds itself under your toenail, it will cause your toenail to get thicker, crumbly, discolored. Often it will kind of look yellowish or sometimes even greenish. Sometimes you can have pain with it, other times you won't have any pain with it. Now the funguses that cause toenail fungus, they're alive and well all around us in swimming pool areas, locker rooms, any place where you can walk barefoot, even outside. And what happens is a little spore kind of gets itself underneath your toenail, like if you have a little separation in your toenail bed, or maybe you cut your toenails too short. This can often cause a little exposure into your body, and a good avenue for the fungus to get in. It's also common in people who get athlete's foot, or people who sweat a lot. So if you're a person who exercises a lot, and you keep shoes on often and frequently, your feet don't air very well, well, this is a perfect environment for a toenail fungus to grow. That's why it's more common than nail funguses on your hands, because on your hands they're more exposed to the air. There's more circulation of blood in your hands, which is your hands are able, so it's able to fight infection and heal quicker. Whereas your toe, with your toes, the circulation is much slower. The blood gets down there less frequently. And so you have a perfect environment for toenail funguses to grow. And now, it's not something that you really need to really worry about unless you're somebody with a compromised immune system, if you have diabetes, something like that, something that it inhibits your body from healing, then I would say you really need to go see a doctor. But for those of you who are healthy individuals and have no type of an immune system compromised disorder or cancer or anything like that, you can try to heal it on your own. And what my suggestion for you to use is a wonderful treatment. It's an antimicrobial antiseptic, and it really works great, especially on toenail funguses. And it's called tea tree oil. This is 100% pure Australian tea tree oil. Now what you're going to do with this is you're going to take a Q-tip and you're going to dip it into the tea tree oil, and then you're going to place it all around the toe that has the fungus. So you're going to get on the sides, all around the nail bed, kind of let it drip behind the toe, and you're going to do this twice a day, morning and night, and you have to give it enough time. The thing with toenail funguses is that they grow out. Most people think with a fungus that you're going to see it just heal up, like you would a rash on your skin and go away. But that's not how a toenail fungus works. What actually has to happen is the toenail has to grow out. And as the toenail is growing out, that's when you see the new healthy fingernail come in from the bottom of the nail bed. And it has to now continue growing all the way up. And as it's growing up, you trim off the diseased toenail, which is often very crumbly, and it just, sometimes you can take off too much and actually expose a lot of the under bed of your toe, but you don't want to do that. Just be careful with that. Just cut it off as it approaches the top of your toe, like you normally would when you cut your toenails. And eventually, over time, sometimes it can take 6 to 9 months for that toenail to grow from, because as the fungus spreads, initially, it spreads all the way down the toe, because sometimes it kind of gets in from the top, and it's sometimes all the way down to the very bottom of the nail bed where the cuticle is. And so, as I said, it has to grow its way all the way up as you can trim and trim and trim, and then it will go away. Keeping your feet ventilated is also a great thing to help it go away. Very often people will get these types of things in the wintertime when their feet are inside socks and shoes in a moist environment. And then as the summer comes and you walk barefoot and things like that, then you start to see that it goes away. But it is a very slow process, so don't think the tea tree oil isn't working, because it is, and it just takes time. And it's a much better alternative and healthier alternative than going and taking medications, oral medications, prescribed oral medications, because you do have to take them for a very long time to get rid of a toenail fungus. And don't worry about wearing nail polish. This is often a wonder whether you should put nail polish on your toes. Does it cut off the oxygen? Does it not promote healing for the toenail fungus? Well, the answer to that is you can wear toenail polish. It's fine. It won't hamper the recovery of your toenail back to normal again. So when you just continue placing your tea tree oil all around the nail, and make sure you do it after you shower and then again in the morning, and keep it on as much as possible, and it will go away, I promise you. It's also a good idea after you trim your toenails. I always put a little tea tree oil all on the tips of my toes from corner to corner after I trim them, just to prevent infection. Because very often when you trim your toenails, if you make a little mistake and you go a little too short or whatever, you want to prevent any bacteria from getting in. Always wear shower shoes when you go into a locker room. Don't go barefoot. Those of you who have swimming in school, if you're using a public pool, anything like that. I mean, lots of times these funguses, they live right on the pool decks, and of course you're going to be walking on the pool decks to go swimming. Sometimes it's unavoidable. It's the same thing if you get plantar warts on your feet. You know, you get them in those areas, the locker rooms, stuff like that. But the more you can do to try to prevent these situations, the better. So wear your little flip-flops when you take a shower in a public place, or if you go inside from the beach to use the bathroom in the public bathhouse. It's just the best thing to do to protect your feet, because there's all kinds of viruses living on floor surfaces. And when you're barefoot, you know, you can pick up anything. If you've got a little cut in your foot or your toenail, just like I said, it gets right in there. And before you know it, it needs that little warm, moist environment inside your shoe, and it blossoms. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe. I have lots more to come, and a lot more for everyone. Please visit me at my blog spot. I do a lot of writing there, a lot of great tips for everyone, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much for viewing. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye-bye now.